All right, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the search for alien life.
Yeah, and we're not talking about little green men here.
Exactly. We're talking about the very real possibility of something swimming around on Europa.
One of Jupiter's moons.
You got it. Now, you've sent us a ton of articles about this icy world.
And we're here to help you figure out what's really going on.
So, is there actually an ocean full of life hiding on Europa? Let's find out.
See, what's so fascinating is that Europa isn't just some sci-fi fantasy.
Right.
There's some really compelling evidence.
Like what?
It suggests that Europa might actually have what it takes for life to exist.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but last time I checked, Europa is covered in ice.
True.
Not exactly the first place that comes to mind when you think about life.
That's true. But that ice is actually what makes Europa so intriguing.
Okay, how so?
Well, scientists now believe there's this massive ocean beneath that icy shell.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, and we're not just talking about a small sea here.
Right.
This potential ocean could hold more water than all of Earth's oceans combined.
Wow. Hold on. More than all of Earth's oceans combined? That's mind-blowing. But how could there be that much water under all that ice?
It's like a cosmic mystery, right?
It really is.
But the evidence is there.
Oh,
Spacecraft like Galileo and Hubble,
Oh, yeah.
they've actually observed water vapor plumes erupting from Europa's surface.
Plumes?
Yeah, think of it like giant geysers just shooting out into space.
No way.
And then there are these magnetic field readings.
Okay.
They suggest there's this conductive layer beneath all that ice.
And that means...
Well, scientists think it's most likely a salty ocean.
Okay, so we've got evidence of a massive salty ocean, which is already incredible.
Right.
But what about, like, the other stuff life needs?
Good point.
It's not like we're going to find fish and seaweed floating around under there.
Well, no space whales yet.
Ah!
But here's what is promising. Scientists believe that Europa's ocean, it likely contains things like carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen,
Okay.
phosphorus, and sulfur,
And those are...
all essential elements for life as we know it.
Right.
So it has the building blocks.
So we've got this potential massive ocean.
Yeah.
We've got the basic ingredients for life. But isn't it incredibly cold and dark that far away from the sun?
It is.
So how could anything really survive without sunlight, without warmth?
This is where it gets really, really cool. Europa, it experiences something called tidal heating.
Tidal heating. Okay. You're going to have to break that one down for me.
Yeah, so basically, as Europa orbits Jupiter, the gravitational pull from this gigantic planet, it creates friction inside Europa.
Friction. Okay.
And that friction generates a tremendous amount of heat,
Really?
enough to keep the ocean liquid beneath all that ice.
So it's like Jupiter is constantly giving Europa a deep tissue massage.
Kind of, yeah. It's this constant push and pull that creates the heat that's needed to keep that ocean from freezing solid.
Wow, that is wild. But okay, if this tidal heating is happening on Europa, why doesn't it happen on other moons too?
That's a great question. It all comes down to Europa's very unique relationship with Jupiter and its neighboring moons.
Okay.
So Europa is caught in this sort of gravitational tug-of-war.
Or a tug-of-war.
Yeah, which makes its orbit a little bit elliptical.
Elliptical.
And this elliptical orbit means that the gravitational force from Jupiter, it changes.
As it goes around.
Exactly, as Europa moves closer and farther away.
Interesting.
And all that leads to more internal friction.
Oh.
And therefore, more heat. Think of it like stretching a rubber band.
Okay.
The more you stretch it, the warmer it gets.
Right, right. So this tidal heating is essential for keeping that ocean liquid.
Exactly.
But does it do anything else? Could it actually be like a source of energy for life?
Now, that is a great question. And it takes us to some truly exciting possibilities.
Right.
It really does.
So this tidal heating, it's essential for keeping the ocean liquid.
It is.
But does it do anything else?
Yeah.
Could it actually be like a source of energy for life?
Now, that is a great question. It really is. And it takes us to some truly exciting possibilities. Remember those hydrothermal vents we talked about earlier?
The underwater volcanoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Scientists believe that tidal heating on Europa, it could be powerful enough to actually create hydrothermal vents on its ocean floor.
Wow.
And here on Earth, we know hydrothermal vents are teeming with life.
So you're saying there could be these vents like spewing out heat and chemicals on Europa's ocean floor and potentially supporting like entire ecosystems.
It's a definite possibility. And what's even more intriguing is that these ecosystems, they would exist in complete darkness.
Right.
far beneath the ice,
Wow.
relying on chemical energy from the vents rather than sunlight.
That's incredible. It just totally changes how we think about life and where it might exist. It's like something out of a sci-fi novel. But it could be real.
It could be.
So how do we find out for sure? I mean, we can't exactly go for a swim in Europa's ocean.
Not yet.
Or can we?
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
But we can send a spacecraft to take a closer look.
Okay.
And that's where NASA's Europa Clipper mission comes in.
Okay, tell me more about this Europa Clipper.
Okay, so
What's the plan?
the Europa Clipper is specifically designed to unlock Europa's secrets.
Okay.
It's equipped with some really impressive tech, including ice-penetrating radar.
Ice-penetrating radar, so
You
it
know.
can actually see through the ice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like giving the spacecraft X-ray vision,
Wow.
allowing it to map the thickness of that ice shell
Yeah.
and potentially even see what's happening down in that ocean.
No way. What else will it be looking for?
The Clipper will also be analyzing the composition of the ice
Mm-hmm.
and those water vapor plumes,
Right.
searching for any hints about what might be lurking below.
Okay.
And if we're lucky, it might even catch a plume erupting in action. Imagine the images we might get.
This mission sounds incredible. It feels like we're on the verge of something truly groundbreaking.
We really are. Finding even the smallest evidence of life on Europa, even microscopic life,
Right.
it would completely revolutionize our understanding of life in the universe.
It means we're not alone.
Precisely. If life can arise in a place as seemingly inhospitable as Europa, it could be thriving in countless other places we haven't even begun to imagine.
Oh, wow. I can't even wrap my head around that. What are some of the specific things that scientists are hoping to learn from, like the data collected by the Dyer?
One of the big questions is about the habitability of Europa's ocean.
Okay.
Is it too salty?
Right.
Too acidic?
Right.
The Clipper will help us analyze the ocean's chemistry
Okay.
to see just how habitable it might be.
And if it turns out that Europa's ocean could support life, what then?
That's the really exciting part.
Uh-huh.
If the Clipper confirms that Europa is a prime candidate for life, it could pave the way for future missions.
Okay.
Perhaps even a lander that could drill through the ice and directly sample the ocean.
A lander that could drill through miles of ice. That sounds incredibly challenging.
It would be an incredible feat of engineering, no doubt.
Right.
But the potential rewards, they would be immeasurable.
Yeah.
Imagine the discoveries that await us beneath the ice.
It's almost too incredible to think about.
I know, right? And, all of this really makes you think, if we find life in our own cosmic backyard, what other secrets might the universe be hiding?
It really is. And to think, we started with what we thought was just a cold, icy moon. This whole journey, it's been full of unexpected twists and turns.
It really has. It just shows how much we still don't know about our universe.
Right.
We tend to think of life as this fragile thing.
Right.
We need very specific conditions to survive.
Yeah,
But Europa, it's challenging that whole idea, isn't it?
it really is.
It's showing us that life, it might find a way even in the most unexpected places.
And if there is life on Europa, what would it even look like? I can't even picture it.
That's the million-dollar question, right? It's tempting to imagine, strange bioluminescent creatures just swimming in the dark depths of Europa's ocean.
Yeah.
But realistically,
Right.
if there is life, it's probably microbial, at least for now.
Microbial life would be amazing enough. But you said for now. What do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. If there are microbes on Europa, they've had billions of years to evolve
That's true.
in this completely unique environment.
Right.
Who's to say what those microbes might have become?
Yeah, that's a good point. It really does make you wonder.
It really does.
We've spent so much time looking for life as we know it on Earth-like planets, but Europa's showing us we need to think bigger.
Exactly. We need to broaden our horizons, literally.
Literally, yeah.
And the amazing thing is, Europa, it isn't the only moon in our solar system that could potentially have life.
Wait, really? What other moon should we be keeping an eye on?
Oh, there's Enceladus.
Enceladus?
Yeah, it's a moon of Saturn.
Okay.
And it also has these plumes of water vapor erupting from its south polar region.
Wow.
And then there's Titan,
Okay.
Saturn's largest moon.
Yeah.
And Titan has methane lakes and rivers.
On the surface?
Yeah, on the surface.
No way. Okay.
These are just a couple of examples, but they really highlight the incredible diversity of worlds right here in our own solar system.
Wow, so cool. This has been an incredible deep dive. We've gone from icy moons to hydrothermal vents to the possibility of alien microbes, all in the search for life beyond Earth.
And it really is just the beginning. With missions like Europa Clipper, the next few decades, they promise to be an incredibly exciting time for space exploration.
It really does. You've definitely given me a lot to think about. So to wrap things up, if you could leave our listeners with one final thought, what would it be?
I think the biggest takeaway here is never underestimate the power of curiosity. Our fascination with the unknown, with the possibility of life beyond Earth, it drives us to explore.
Yeah.
It pushes the boundaries of science and technology, and who knows what incredible discoveries await us out there.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to all the fascinating research we've discussed. And as always, thanks for listening.